But yeah, you said you have another question though.
Yeah, no. So basically, it kind of touches back on the what we were talking previously. It's the risk to reward ratio, and how do you guys determine that?
Interesting. Risk to reward. When you say risk to reward, I think about trading, bro. But
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I think about trading. So how are you thinking just in life in general?
Yeah, how would you
So
decide it?
I kind of rant for a second, so I'll let John, you go first.
It's calm, go. No, it's calm, go.
Yeah, for me, I think there's risk comes at certain points in your life. Risk depends on the levels of responsibility that you have at a certain period of time. So we literally just watched a video when you were gone just now, and this guy was going on about like, cool, let's say for example our age, when you really, really, really look at it, we don't have a wife, we don't have a mortgage, we have our savings. Cool. If we lost all our savings tomorrow, we're still young enough that we could probably earn it all back, whatever we've lost.
Right.
If you lost your job tomorrow, you could probably still be absolutely calm. You live with your parents, all these things. And when you actually think about it, there's not actually an element of risk to anything that you're taking. Like there's not really a risk element.
Right.
Obviously, once you start to have all these things pour into your life, then it becomes a risk. So for me right now, when I really assessed it as well, I was in that position where, cool, lost my job at the time, and I just didn't have anything to lose. I was just like, there's no risk to what I'm doing right now. It's just choosing to take that step. I think a lot of people think that there's a lot more risk than there actually is, and there will come a time when there actually is a lot of risk. So like even we spoke about yesterday, your situation as well with the uni thing. Like, I think, like for example, talking about saying that you made the decision to not stay at uni. That was perceived as a risk, right? A lot of other people at uni would have also had that same thought process of, this is just not for me. I want to cut, but to them it was perceived to be too much of a risk. Whereas now, you're in a profession which you enjoy and actually have a goal, ambitions of where you want to go to. Someone now is in a position, in a job, and is thinking, rah, if I just took that risk back then. And they're probably thinking, I should have just done it. But this is what I'm saying. Every single year, there's going to be more stuff added to your plate. So for me, I just don't really think, like, especially now at the time, at the age we're at, I really don't think there's a risk in doing whatever you want to do. This is the time to take it now, because that's what I was saying to you. I think it's one thing to chase your dreams when you have nothing. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think that's easy. When you don't have anything, when you have nothing left, no other option, I think it's really easy to chase your dreams because there's nothing, there's no alternative. Do you know what I'm saying? It's another thing entirely to chase your dreams when you have everything to lose.
Right.
And that's why I think, like, obviously when people get later on in life, they've got the kids, they've got the mortgage, they've got this, they've got that. That's when that's when it's like us sitting here saying, "Oh yeah, chase your dreams." Like, it's a bit naive of us when we're not in a position where we have the kids. Right. Do you know what I'm saying? Or we don't have the mortgage. Like, it's all well and good. Like, yes, someone's probably sat there thinking, yeah, like, I agree with you, but you don't get that I have 3 children that I have to feed them every single day, and I want to take this risk, but I just can't. Like, there's the level of uncertainty which I can't, like, give to these kids. Whereas now, let's say for example, I choose to quit my job. The only mouth I have to worry about feeding is my own. Like, and if I can't feed my own, that's because it's a decision I made not to feed my own. Right. But my kids didn't decide. If that person, their kids didn't decide to say, "Oh yeah, like, Mum, go and quit your job." They didn't say that. Do you know what I mean? So it's hard to put them under the same burden that you're choosing to put yourself under, because that's not the choice that they made. But yeah, that's my opinion on risk. I just don't really think.
This is why this looking thing is important when you're young, you know. There's no time, bro.
There's no time.
There's no time, bro. You have to look at this. Obviously, there are ways in it. People with kids and that, there's probably it's tough in it. But probably are ways to do it. But if you're young, you have to lock in early, bro.
It's mad, you know.
Best thing you can do is lock in early. Even if it doesn't bang, at least you know, like, you tried and you tried. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
You've worked on that locking ability
Regret for
from young. Because once you start having these kids and that,
It's not impossible, but it's very, very difficult.
very long.
Yeah.
Very long. Very long. And to be honest, obviously, since we're not there, I can't even give advice on it, bro.
Yeah,
No,
that's what I'm saying.
I can't even say, oh yeah, just lock it.
It'd be ignorant for us to say it because we're not in that
I'm
situation.
not in that situation yet.
But it's even just a quick one. I know the name of this podcast is actually so jokes because someone said it the other day without. Obviously, they don't know that we have this podcast, but they literally said, "This is the last chance." And when they said it, I was like, "Rah!" And it was one of my clients. She was saying that she wants to move to Australia this year, and she was talking. I said to her, "I was like, oh yeah, no, do it, like pattern it." And I think like she was even expecting me to be like, "Yeah, do it." And I was like, "Why wouldn't you do it? Like you're literally only 26, like do it." And it was crazy because we were talking about it, and I didn't say much. I kept quiet. I was letting her just talk, and I could see in her head she's talking. She's like, she's having an argument with herself.
Debate.
Internal
debate, bro.
An internal debate out loud.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, wow. I could see she was talking to herself like, yeah, this can pattern because of this. This will do well because of this, but it could also go bad because of this. And she's like arguing with herself, conflicting. And I'm just there, just waiting for her to realize, like, okay, but it's going to be calm though. Do you know what I mean? And the realization was when she said, like, but I have to go and do it because this is my last chance. And I was like,
100%.
You get it.
100%.
You've unlocked it. You've unlocked it. This is
conclusion by yourself.
She, like that. The matter she spoke about. I might not have a job. I might not make any friends. She spoke about like 100 different reasons.
Pros and cons analysis, bro.
Yeah.
She said about 100 different reasons why it could go wrong. But the main thing that she came back to was this will be my last chance to do it. And I was like, well done. You've reached that point where you've realised to say, this is it. Like, as much as, yes, it could go completely wrong, but you're never going to get the opportunity to do this again where you can just be like, you can go, say to work, have a little hiatus, I'm going to go away for a bit. You can go to a different country, start afresh, meet new people, not have to worry about anything. This is that one time you're going to get to do this. Once you start having kids, that just won't be able to happen. Like, it just won't. Depends where you're at financially in your life as well. But you'll never be able to make a decision purely thinking about yourself. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, when she came to terms with that and said that, yeah, no, I'm going to do this, I was like, that's it. And she realised it's not, as much as, yes, there's a risk, but it's only a risk to yourself. Do you know what I mean? And I said to her, I was like, you don't realise that just you realising that alone and making that decision puts you into a group of people that is very, very small. Because a lot of people, it comes back to the point I said a couple of weeks ago of like, everyone wants to be rich, but there's quotas to be filled. Right. Everyone has the idea of, I want to go and do this, do that. But how many people actually take that step to do it? Not many. And I said, so the fact you've made this decision now will translate to many other things in your life in the future. Right. In the sense that if you can take a risk now, so like, for example, like even, this is what I'm saying. Sometimes I don't think you appreciate how cold your story is, Aaron.
Bro, I was saying the same thing. I was even chatting to John about this story. Bro.
Is it?
Like, I don't.
When we were walking in those houses, I was like, bro, this is Aaron, bro.
I don't
made me think about you, bro.
This is what I'm saying. This
we all go through it, bro.
This self-gratitude.
This
self-gratitude thing.
Nah, bro.
Sometimes I don't think you appreciate how cold your story is.
Nah,
like
it's nuts,
it's cold, bro. Because just the fact alone that you took the decision to like take the risk of leave uni and look where you are now. If something was to come in the future for you next, that was perceived to be a massive risk of like, let's say you had to leave this and go and do this. You've taken that first risk and it's patterned. Do you get what I'm saying? So already now you have this idea in your head to say, well, I started over once and it worked out, so I can start over again. Some people will never have that confidence to ever do that, you know, because they've just if you never take that risk, the idea of taking a risk becomes even more daunting. Do you know what I mean? In the future, like something could even be a certainty of success, but because you've just never taken any sort of like you never come across like any sort of adversity or whatever, you're kind of just like, but it might just be a little bit uncomfortable. So I think I won't do it.
Yeah.
So that's put you into upper echelon like category just by you taking that risk alone. So I don't know, this risk.
It's not though. That one thing that's key though, you have to be able to marry your risk taking with your grind. Like you have to be able to grind. You can't just be taking risks and cutting from your job and then not doing anything. Sean said that I should just take the risk, bro. That's not even how it works, bro.
Nah, word.
So it's like you have to be able to like really, really grind it out, bro. Which is even what is cold at your team, bro. It's like you have to be willing to go to those 276 people, bro.
100.
And they're gonna say no, bro.
Yeah.
They're all gonna say no, bro. They're all gonna say no. But the 277th is gonna say, you know what? Meet me tomorrow for a coffee, fam.
Trust me.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I can't lie. The risk thing, it's interesting because you have to take risks, but at the same time, you have to be able to execute, and they go hand in hand. Because if not, life will slap you around 1,000%. 100%. And even when you do take risks and you do grind, it will still slap you around. But I think it's just I think people should take risks 100%, especially when they're young. I think in terms of calculating the risk to reward, I don't even know if I think about it like that. You know, I think it's just I think about what do I actually want to pattern, and what needs to get done to pattern that. Within that, there's going to be risks in it.
Yeah.
But it's just, all right, cool. If I want to pattern X, the steps to pattern X is 1, 2, and 3. 2 is going to be a big risk. But that's just the steps in it. You have to get it done, and you just have to do it. So I think I don't know if I process things about, okay, what is the risk I'm taking? What is the potential reward? I think maybe at a subconscious level I do that, but at a conscious level, it's more like, all right, what do I actually really want, and what am I willing to do to get it? And I just do the thing, if that makes sense.
No, 100.
I have a question for you, man, actually, in regards to that. So I just realised, I think risk is only risk because people are worried about failure. So risk it's only a risk because you're worried about it not working out, for example. And I said to you yesterday that I keep mentioning this guy called Jake, guys. His name is Jake Dearden. You can go give him a follow. We'll go and see his thing. He does high rocks, and he's a very, very good athlete. And he said, so he competed in Vegas. He came one position away from qualifying for the Glasgow Championships.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's why he had to go to Bilbao.
Oh.
So he had to go to Bilbao to qualify. And obviously, Donny was saying he was devastated that he didn't qualify, but then he was like, but also at the same time, this failure will make the story greater.
100%.
Like now, once this is all part of the story. Like the story wouldn't have been that great if I just qualified straight away. It would have been like,
it would have been a dead team.
It would have dead team.
Did he identify what made like what he did wrong to not qualify?
I don't know. It's a long video, but I'm pretty sure. Even he made a post the other day actually of like yesterday, because he won yesterday still. Came first, but he's still like, I love that in his post, in his caption, he spoke about what went wrong, this is like that. He's constant self-criticism, like there's always something to be done. Right. But the question I had was like, what's your take, or how do you deal with failure? Like, how does it affect you personally? Like, let's say like you try and do something and it doesn't work out. How do you approach it? Do you get what I'm saying? How do you perceive failure, like just in general?
Well, it's not a failure till you give up, bro. Do you get what I mean? Because obviously, you know my story. I've got you so used to saying no, bro.
Sorry, what made this guy even carry on going, bro?
Bro, did you get 276, fam?
Bro,
You were just sure that someone was gonna say yes, bro. Eventually.
My favorite. I told you when I was younger, my favorite game was Monopoly.
Right.
And there was no way I was not going to touch this business, bro.
Yeah.
Even if all these men are saying no. The main reason why they said no is because of sales experience.
Right.
I was like, bro, I'm fresh out. Like, I'm so young. How do you expect me to get experience in that? But I just knew I needed to get experience, no matter what, bro. Right. And with this failure thing, in my opinion, even if it's a 1% chance, bro, there's still a chance that you're going to succeed. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's only failures when you just turn your back away and walk away. So that's how I see it. I see it's not failure till I give up. So you just have to keep going at it.
100%.
Like even with the gym, like how many times have you reached the limit, bro? And then you say, no, you got a couple more, bro. And I'm like, oh, actually, I never did reach failure, bro.
Word.
I still had more in the tank.
No, true.
Man,
In that sense.
Thomas Edison. What did you say? I haven't failed X amount of times. But found 1,000 something ways it just didn't work.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's cold.
No word. To be honest, I never really deep that, I failed. I never really think about it that way. It's just, it hasn't patterned yet.
Definitely, just haven't found the right.
Just come a different angle.
It hasn't patterned yet.
Yeah.
I'm still figuring out. I'm still trying to lock it in properly.
Failure is a weird one. Like you said, it's not a failure. Like, I think what you said is true. It's not a failure until you give up. Because you're tweaking, and I don't know. Even the term failure, like, it's hard. It's hard to even describe what a failure is because I don't know. Like when you sent me, right, John, you sent me some absolute gems lately. I actually did. You've plugged me with some gems because I remember it's the Jane Smith one.
Yeah,
that hits me.
Guy's clean.
And it was like, I think people perceive failure as something which is like, people blame a lot of things when they fail. And it was like, yeah, it's because of this or because. So when I started like uploading on TikTok, I remember the first thing I noticed, I was like, this is not patterning because I'm not uploading at this time, or because I'm not using this hashtag, or this is that the other, or even if my parents were liking the video too quick, they'd be like, relax, why don't like it, leave it, give it an hour. I was finding every reason to justify why my thing was failing, and I remember watching that video, and the first thing he said was, if your thing you're trying to do is not doing well, it's just because it's not good enough.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. That really was like a slap in the face. Like, what are you doing, fam? Like, it's a bar. Like, if what you're doing is not working, it's just because it's not good enough, and you just got to find a way to make it good. That's literally all it is. And I was like, wow. And it really shifted my perspective to say, stop blaming everything for why something's not working out. You're blaming every reason for your failure, but really and truly, the only reason why you failed is because of yourself.
100%.
And the failure will be if you choose to try and not solve this solution.
100%.
Because there is a solution to everything, I believe. There's a solution to everything. It's just, are you willing to go through the potential combinations to find it? And I think that's another thing. Some people find the combination sooner than others. And I think that's why some people perceive their thing to be a failure, because it's like, why have I not figured it out as soon as this person figured it out? But they just found literally all it was. It's like okay, this is a long-winded example, but when we go to the gym with my dad, I always put the padlock on, and sometimes I'll be lazy, and when I'm locking it, I just change like the first two. If someone was to come and try and still break into the thing, all they'd have to do is just do 1, 2, and
it'll be done. Yeah.
That's all they have to do. Another day, I might decide, I'm gonna just change them all, and the next person, the same guy could come and try and steal it, but he's gonna be like, I have to keep now trying the different combinations.
Right.
Now, obviously, that was a weird way to describe it, but in the sense of like, some people can just get lucky. Like obviously, when I say luck, even that's a whole different conversation, luck. But I think it's like some people just find the combination sooner than others.
100%.
And I think that's another thing. The comparison thing, it really is a thief of joy, because we look at other people and we be like, right, how did they only figure this out in this amount of time? And why is it taking me a bit longer? But your timeline is your timeline. You need to be content. Yeah, that was actually one of my foundational bars, fam. You have to be okay with your rate of growth.
100%.
Like, you have to be okay with it and be content to say, yeah, okay, he figured it out in a year, but this is mine, and I'm gonna figure it out in 10 years. But that's just I have to be okay with that.
100%.
Like,
I think that's a big bar.
You have to be okay with not seeing someone else's journey and being like, why have I not figured it out as soon as they have? This is just your time, and you just have to be okay with it. It's gonna take you X amount of years. That's fine. You'll get there eventually, because what you said was facts. as long as you work hard, it will always pay off.
Oh, 100.
Hard, like if you work hard to your maximum capability, like whatever yours is, it will always pay off.
100%.
Always. Hard work will never, ever, ever, ever go unpaid. Like
Word. Even man like I was listening to a man like Tate said this time ago. So that listen, if you actually try your hardest, you probably won't fail.
Exactly.
Like most people, if you actually try,
I've seen that
it's
video.
actually very hard to fail if you actually try.
Actually,
Which is probably true, bro. Like even stuff like getting them in shape, yeah. It's not even that deep. It's just maths, but it's just whether you actually did.
yeah.
If it's whether you did the workout, whether you much diet, whether you slept, or whether you did the steps and the cardio for a long enough period of time. If you do it, like it will pattern. It's not like I tried and it didn't. You know what I'm saying? You didn't really probably pattern.
No, 100.
Yeah, word.
Like it will. You will lose weight. So I think that's key. I went to one of those trading events we went to time ago in Dallas, 2019, and there was one speaker there, one cold guy, passed away. One big guy in like the whole mindset scene. His name was Bob Proctor.
Raw.
Oh, raw.
You know?
Then he passed away. Yeah.
Yeah.
He passed away.
Passed away a couple of years back, maybe like just after COVID times. But anyways, he was at one of the events, and the first line he said, I even recorded it. It was so clean, never forgot it, bro. Then he said, I want you to really think and understand this morning that your results are telling the truth about you. So basically, whatever's happening, whatever your results are in life, it's just complete. It's just literally saying, that's what you're patterning. So if you like the results or not, it's just a complete reflection of yourself. 100%. Nobody else felt. I said, right, this guy's clean.
No, 100. I rate that high.
The results always tell the truth about you.
Don't lie, fam.
Always.
They don't lie.
Sometimes it takes a bit of time to catch up, but it always tell the truth, innit? So for me, I think if you can really, really, really lock in and do, like, as you're saying, like, just really, really go for it, the failure thing's not really a pattern. Like, it's not really that much of a factor in it. Because eventually it'll pattern. Eventually. But yeah, like that's probably how I process it. Because I actually never really think about failure, to be fair. Never really deep it like that.
Nah, yeah. Well,
100.
if you know that you're not going to give up, it's not a failure. Like, yeah, that's how I'm at a point now in my life where I just know I'm not going to give up, so it's not a failure.
Exactly.
So I'm it might take me a bit of time to find a solution, but I think so long as you know you're not going to give up, you're calm.
I think people focus too much on what if it doesn't work out instead of what if it does work out.
Word.
Like with that client that you mentioned earlier, she was worried about not making friends. What if you do?
What if you do? Yeah, facts.
I probably won't get a job. What if you do get the best job that you wanted?
No word.
What if moving to Australia was the best decision of your life? Do you know what I mean? People get too focused on the negative side.
But
that's where me and I think you guys as well, we focus on the positive side. And that's what makes us not want to give up.
Which is actually mad because that goes against human nature, what we're doing now. Just because human nature is to you protect yourself from like harm. Like, do you know what I mean? That is literally just like how humans are built to protect yourself from harm. Like even from like you get hurt once, and it's like evolution thing as like years go on. Like the first caveman didn't know what fire was at all. Touched it, and he said to the youths, "You man,
stay away.
Danger, fam.
Stay away, bro.
It's not worth it, bro.
I tried it, fam.
It's not worth it, bro.
It's not the lick, fam. It's not the pattern at all. So eventually, as things get passed down, we probably like this is what I'm saying. It's mad. You see, let's say for example, the Australia thing. You see, let's say 100 posts of people going to Australia. I think every Tom, Dick, and Harry is moving to Australia lately, and it patterns for everyone. But that person might see one post of one Susan that went and it didn't pattern. She didn't have any accommodation. She didn't have an income. And no matter how many positive things you've seen now, you're drawn to that one and thinking, raw. There's a possibility that this might not bang.
That's so true.
And this is what I'm saying. We draw towards like danger and fear, and we try and protect ourselves from those things. So even like now, yes, in everything we're doing, there's an element of risk. There's an element of danger. There's an element of potential it not working out. And it's very easy to focus on that thing and be like, rah. And if I honestly think if you have that in your head, it will always hold you back. It will always be, because every decision you take will always be like hesitant. Like, oh, should I do it? Should I not do it? Like, it's weird. It's even just like, I don't even know. Some of the things I've even patterned in the last couple of months, it's just been pure impulsive. Like, it's everything that I actually have done in the last couple of months of like even just like certain content I've made has not been thought out. The ones that I've done well, it's just I've woken up that day and said I'm going to do this. I've not thought about it. I've not tried to. Obviously, I've woken up, had a thought, bang, done it. Like even till this day, like some of like the best videos I've made and thing have been the ones where I just woke up that day and I just thought, yeah, I'm just going to do this. Don't think about it, just do it. Like just, or like for example, like yeah, my dad woke up the other day. I went to the gym and I said to him, just go on your walk. And then he was like, oh no, I want to go back to that hill where Jackson's Park. I want to do sprints up that hill. That was an impulsive thought he had just to go and do that. And he went and just done it and he patterned it. And then he came home. I edited the video and it's patterning now. That's word.
Trust me.
Impulsive, just like, and this is what I'm saying. Sometimes when you have too much time to think, you think of all the reasons why it might not work. But I think sometimes that's what I mean. I think sometimes you need to actually believe in your source. Like actually believe you're the guy. Like I remember you said that to me. And my brother said it to me as well. Around the time when life was moving a bit mad, and I remember. You were just like remember, like actually remember you're him in it. Like remember that. Like, and it's and yeah, I think if we do all same for females. Remember you're her. Like remember you're that girl. You're that guy. Like back yourself. Like you know you better than anyone. And I think sometimes we just have this doubt to say, oh, should I be doing this or is this idea cold? Like it probably is, and you're choosing not to act in it, and it's actually scary.
No, this is clean.
It's actually scary to think all the potential things that maybe have like someone's had an idea probably that could have been revolutionary, like life changing for everyone, and they just thought, maybe not.
This is shout because to be fair, there's something I'm working on. What do you guys think are the things that you need to work on, or let's say if you were to think about your ideal self, the best version of you compared to where you are now, what are some of the differences?
You go first on that one.
So what I need to work on?
Yeah. Areas where you feel like you could improve, or if you're like, alright, cool, the best version of me would probably do this better, or probably do this better, or do this less, or whatever it is. I have one, and it links to what you just said, to be fair.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, so my one is literally cutting down time frames. So there's a phrase, it's pretty much what you're just saying. There's a phrase that success loves speed. So you got to do things quickly. Like you just when you have an idea, just execute on it. Just execute, not think about it. I think naturally I'm very much an analyzer. So I think one thing I can do way more clean is just get stuff done. Especially even when I do get stuff done, like making sure that the time frames between getting stuff done is way shorter. So it's back to back. Yeah. So even for example, like if I go to the gym and I come back. Like, even those 15 minutes, I'm just like, all right, cool, let me just relax my legs, fam. That can get cut off, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? You just got to be, you got to be snappy with it. So I think, because there's even one guy from my church, yeah, I wouldn't even say he's like the coldest one in terms of, I wouldn't say he's the smartest guy. I wouldn't say he's the most business savvy guy.
Yeah.
But one thing that he's so cold at, and this is why he's a successful don, he's extremely quick to implement stuff. Everything is now. Everything is now. And I know because of that, the guy's been able to do big things in terms of, relatively speaking, I think he's come from Nigeria, he's patented stuff, got some businesses. Yeah. And he's one thing I absolutely rate about him. He's just about speed, bro. Like, everything is now.
Yeah.
I think that is actually, especially for me, that's something I probably need to work on. In fact, it's probably the next one I'm going to work on now, which is just like, all right, cool, you've got an idea, just do it.
Yeah, no, 100.
Make the video, post it, as you're saying, just do it.
Just do it.
And keep it stepping. So I think that's actually one of the big ones for me, personally.
Do you know what? Mine's very similar, wherein I think I need to create more effective systems for my day-to-day life, where I get certain things done, like what you mentioned. Because I think when you do relax, then getting back into that zone again, I would rather create a system where I just do it all in one go and then relax. If that makes sense.
Yeah, the relaxing thing.
Because I remember back in school, I don't know if you remember, I vividly remember that revision session. Some guy came into the sixth form common room.
Right.
And he was like, guys, it's a cold method, yeah? Do 20 minutes.
Pomodoro
reading, take 10-minute break, or 15 or whatever, and then do another 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I think, all right, let me try it, bro. 20 minutes solid work, 10 minutes, 10 to 10 hours, bro. You get what I mean? Like, it just never worked out.
I think it's called the Pomodoro method or something like that. It's proper method where people do like 20 minutes work and 10 minutes break, 20 minutes.
Yeah, it don't
Personally,
work.
I'm not on. I don't know. Maybe there's something there that I don't, but I'm personally not on that at all.
No, at all.
I'd rather do the 4-hour thing.
Oh, 100.
And then
do the full
relax
thing.
out. Yeah.
Like, if I could, I genuinely would do all my 10K steps in the morning. Get it done and dusted. Because the longer I leave it,
Just find reasons not to.
exactly, bro. You know what I mean?
Such
If I can
a
get everything in the morning, like there was one day when I did up my 10K step by 10 a.m. I was like, bro,
No word.
I can focus on
You
other
just
things.
gave me an idea. That's such a shout, you know.
What's that?
I might be able to move some stuff around my steps in the morning, fam.
Even like 10 minutes go a long way, bro. Even 10 minutes walking, that's 10 minutes less.
Long
than a
way,
day.
long
15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes less in the evening, bro.
100%. And do you know what it is? There's something about doing something the first opportunity you get to do it makes it. It's like when you do it later on, it takes way more time. I don't know what it is. There must be there must be a law. It's kind of like, you know how like if you were to get ready for the gym the day before, and it takes 10 minutes. The 10 minutes the day before isn't as much as the 10 minutes in the morning.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's kind of like, it's a weird pattern, I'm sure there's one law for it. But it's like the longer you wait to do something, the more of a toll or more of an impact it has when you have to do it. So that's even such a shout. I might have to implement something like that.
What about you, Sean?
That's a good question, because I think I'm at a point now where genuinely I'm very
My man's
like
flawless, bro.
no, not even. But that was something I think I was trying to overcome massively.
The speeding.
Yeah, and just being impulsive, like just acting on it. Like don't like if you have a thought, just do it. Like now I'm at that point where like if I have a thought, but I think because obviously but then obviously I didn't have the evidence to show for it before, and I just thought just start doing it, just see what happens, because it's just easy to have thoughts and just let them drift in space and just
100%.
think eventually I'll do it, eventually, but time passes and then like it's the opportunity's gone. So. I think, I think I need to start. But another thing with that though, actually, which I've noticed, I need to start. Well, I'm starting to do it now, but showing gratitude to myself and having self-reflection. Because another thing, when you act very impulsively all the time and very quick, you don't have time to think about what you're doing. Like. Weeks and weeks go past sometimes, and I've not had a second to like stop and actually look back and be like, I'm just running non-stop, like non-stop every single day. It's like what the next thing, like to the point where like it took me to have the chat with my dad the other day, and I looked back at one of the first videos I ever made, and then looked at one of the videos I made now. These times I could be getting an Oscar for some of these films, you know, that will make these videos. And I've not had a second to realise, like, if I actually was to, let's say my thing was not actually about the content I'm making, and it was about me getting better at editing videos as a skill. I've got so good at editing videos, but I've not taken a second to realise, you've actually learnt this new skill and actually like got good at it. Do you know what I mean? I've just been the next step, and I was like, like if my goal was to actually just get better at editing videos, I've achieved madnesses in that time. But I think it's like that's that thing of like when you keep just acting the next thing. Like I was saying to Aaron yesterday, I never even like the thing you were saying. Like I never like complete a to-do list ever because really like there's still always something else I could have been doing. There's something else. So for me, the next day is just all right. The next thing, and then I don't get a chance to actually sit back and be like, wow, look what you've done. So I think as much as yes, it's good to be speed. I don't know. I think it's still good to like sometimes slow down and look back and be like, calm.
I definitely agree. I think it just depends where you are, like.
Yeah, because this is
how much you've actually patterned.
Because that's the thing as well. It's like what you determine to be success, and I think it's hard because I think all of us are not in a position where we think we've achieved this is another problem as well. You will never achieve what you think you want to achieve because by the time you've got to that goal, you'll have another one.
100%.
And another one. Which is why I do think self-reflection is so important because self-reflection is the only, like, what you've done is the only certainty that you'll ever have. Your goals will never be a certainty because once you reach a goal, there'll be a next goal and a next goal and a next goal. So you'll always be chasing. It's what Matthew McConaughey said. Like, my goal is me in 10 years. My hero is me in 10 years. Like, I'll never catch up to my hero.
Right on.
Ever. Like, no matter how hard I try, time, like, that 10 years, you'll never shorten that time because your hero will always be one step ahead. Like, right. Always. But then it's that thing of, like, I've lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. You're always chasing something. Like, even like now, you have a goal right now, what you want to pattern in the trading thing. Once you get there, you won't even have, like, you might get gassed for maybe like a day or an hour, and then you'll be like, well, now what's next? You'll never be content. So that's why I think sometimes it's good to look back and be like, calm. Like, this is just... It's the human experience. It's just constant progression, which is kind of like this. I think when you realize there's not really an end goal. You're just, I don't even know. It's when you think of it like that, it's actually a bit like, what are we actually trying to achieve? Do you know what I mean? Because you're never gonna actually. It's just I think, and that's another thing as well. Actually, I've realized I need to. I'm telling myself now, I need to learn that this is not for a period of time. As in, like, what I'm going through now, I've actually really come to terms with the last couple of days to be like, this constant feeling of like it's non-stop. That's just gonna be the rest of your life.
100%.
You're like, I think people try and work towards this thing of like, and when I reach there, I'll be done. Yeah. And then I can chill. Like, I know that the Thanos thing, he has some certain bars that I agree with, but certain that one bar, it then said I can rest now. You won't. Like, you will never have that. You will never get to a point and be like, I am now done. Because once you get to that point, there'll be another thing you can do, and another thing, and another thing. Because human nature, you just strive for perfection, which will never be achieved. Do you get what I'm saying? There will always be something which you can get done. So I think the last couple of days I've just been realising to say, how you feel now doesn't matter if you have 1 million followers in a year's time. You're still going to have this feeling when you have 1 million followers. There's something else that needs to be done.
Exactly.
There's something else. There's something else. There's something else. There's something else. It's going to be a constant state of grinding until the day you die. And that's okay. That's how it's meant to be. Like, yes, you could have times where you enjoy things in the moment, but it will never be... I think when you really love something that you do, you always want to improve on it every single day. You see, like, these dons like Einstein, Donnie grinded till the day, to the end, fam.
That's the course that it takes for being the best, bro.
That's what it takes.
Grinding, bro.
These dons don't stop. Stephen Hawking's, fam. Donnie had every right to just say, I'm going to relax, but no. Donnie said, I'm going to keep going. Keep going. Steve Jobs, Donnie said, I'm going to keep grinding. It's... Elon Musk. Donnie's in a position now where he doesn't need. Donnie can stop.
Yeah,
he doesn't need to be doing what he's doing. But like, when you're actually trying to achieve greatness for something you love, there's always something more to be done. So yeah. Oh, it's mad. This life thing, fam.
That's a serious one, bro.
I can see you. Were you about to say something? Because I feel like someone's on the tip of your tongue. I feel like you can.
Who me, Aaron?
Aaron.
Oh, well, I was going to say, so with your gratitude thing, what is the way to, what am I trying to say? So how do you work on it then? What are you going to do to be more appreciative of your works? Just, that makes sense.
I don't know. I just try and wake up every day or go to the bed every day and just think, okay, what have you achieved? I don't know. Because I don't want to be in a constant state of like always looking back. Like I do still think like you said that.
You still need to look forward.
Yeah. Sometimes when like, especially if I have a moment where I feel like, because it's hard because some people will be like, oh, you're doing great, but there's days when I genuinely feel like I'm dead. Like I am dead, fam. And I think when I have those days, it's when I then say, okay, let's look back now and see what we planned. Do we have anything to show for it? If not, then keep going.
That's very interesting that you said I should keep looking at my past. Because you remember that certain Don that we go and see at the gym, the lorry man? Yeah. This guy's, his rear view mirror is bigger than his front screen. You know what I mean?
100%.
His windscreen, sorry.
100%.
That guy always talks about his past.
That's that David Goggins thing we were talking about. Where, and this, I'll be honest with you, when this David Goggins guy came about, I just found it jarring. He's going to carry the boats, this, that, the other. I was like,
I loved it, bro.
Whatever.
I absolutely loved it.
I hear it, but
the guy's tapped.
I think my thing is like certain guys become mainstream, and then certain people like talk about them. I'm like, you're not actually implementing anything he's talking about. Even like the Tate thing, like there's certain people that just were talking about. I think it was the certain demographic of people that were talking about him that just made me think, I don't know if it wasn't even him. Do you know what I'm saying? The people that talk about him, I'm like, you're not patting those. So like in my head, I think that's a bit of a reflection on Tate. Do you get what I'm saying? That's just sometimes how I looked at it. But with the Goggins thing, when I actually realised like, nah, this guy's actually spitting bars, because his thing was that you shouldn't be living off your laurels. Like you shouldn't be living off your past life. Some people will achieve something and for the rest of their life they'll be saying, I done this. That's all well and good, but I think he woke up one day and said, why am I living my life off my past achievements? If I'm telling someone today to go and pattern this, it's because I done that today. Do you know what I'm saying? That I shouldn't be giving advice of things I done in my past life. And that's why till this day he still does mad stuff, because he's like, if I'm gonna come on this podcast and give motivation to millions and millions of people, it's because I've done that thing today. Do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So yeah,
very true.
Man, like Goggins, fam.
Cold guy. Very cold guy.
No, words.
Very, very extremely tapped, bro.
I need to finish this book, bro.
Which one? I think
the Grow one.
Oh, okay. Can't stop. Can't hurt me or something like that.
Yeah, I think something like that one. Yeah.
There's another one, Can't Stop, Won't Stop. I think I listened to it. Yeah, no, it's cold.
But yeah, no, this life, it's interesting. It's interesting, and I think you know what? Yeah, like there's time. So like I do believe, yeah, locked in. I do think like it's important. Like even like now, I was saying to Aaron yesterday. Obviously, I think it's good to still have times where you just do relax a little bit. I think relaxing sometimes helps you lock in a bit more.
Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah.
Like
there has to be enough
just
patterned within the relaxation.
Yeah.
Like it's like that. It's like you have to. It has to be controlled. Relaxing. So like what you said, I think it was in the last episode where you said about like, let's say for example you got your partner, and it's like making the provision to see your partner might take you away from the overall plan of what you're trying to achieve, but that's better than not seeing your partner and having an argument which spans over more days, and which like it just takes away much more. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So you might lose a day spending time with your partner, but it's better than losing 3 days of arguing with your partner, which takes. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it's good to have that time to like unwind and chill. Because I was even saying to Aaron, I can't lie. For me, like obviously this Harrods thing, I'm gassed to do it, but I'm yes, that was the three of us were going.
Yeah,
that for me is the motive.
Yeah, it's a motive.
Like, it's a motive.
It's a serious motive.
It's a
Like,
serious motive. Like, and it's like it's like even like now, like this is what I was saying to someone the other day. I was like, your friends are important because it's the downtime you're choosing to spend with them can still add to your quality of life. Like, even if we pattern the late districting, when we pattern the late districting, like, it's not, yes, we're spending time together, it's downtime, but there's still purpose within that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to just be doing nothing, we'll go on hikes and that. It's still developing us as people.
100.
But yeah, I think it's still good to have that time to, like, have a breather, relax. And sometimes that makes you realise you come back from it, you be like, cool, have my time to chill. This is now... give me that boost to be like, cool,
100%.
lock in again.
100%.
Lock in.
No, so true. Because
Yeah.
obviously, when I spent my time with my girl, I'm more locked in now.
Same.
Like,
The
it's a
same
good
thing happened to
reminder.
me, yeah.
It was a good reminder because it showed me like, obviously, she needs to be taken care of. I need to be taken care of. I need to lock back in. And even like when you rested as well. Do you know when like you do your high rock thing and then you said, "Oh boys, I need to relax." The next session, you bang out, bro. Like you did it under an hour, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. No words.
So resting does.
Yeah,
It's
no.
quite beneficial.
But that's hard though, because that's again that requires willpower.
Oh no, 100.
Because
No,
certain dons relax,
It's done.
and that's
they get carried away, bro.
Like the discipline to rest well at the right times is also discipline.
it's discipline. There has to be discipline within the enjoyment to say
100%.
this is for now. It's not forever, because a lot of people will have that time where they relax and then off track. It's
100%.
done.
How do you think you can actually work on discipline? Like, what? How do you actually work on it?
It's a really good question. I think it's going to sound contradictory, but the only way you can work on discipline is just by being disciplined. Because I think it's a momentum, and it's a muscle in it. So I think a lot of it comes down to the more you start doing things that you don't want to do, the more the muscle discipline gets built. And then the more it gets built, the more you can continue to do stuff that you don't want to do. Problem is, I think the hardest thing with discipline is the start.
Yeah.
It's like the period where it's like, all right, cool. It's the first couple times, not like maybe obviously you'll get gas. I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow. You go to the gym. That's not discipline. It's the first times where you genuinely don't want to go, and you could probably get away with not going. And you're like, nah, I'm just going to go. That's the challenge. But I think there's no real way to. It's interesting because there's no real way to train that apart from when you're actually in the situation. So I guess what you can do, what helps, is to have some form of accountability. Where if you have, like, for example, a group where we're going to the gym at the same time, or even like an accountability coach, I'm always a big fan of that. But I think you just have to find a way to get the thing done, regardless of whether you want to do it or not. For different people, that it might mean different things. There might be different ways of approaching that, but ultimately, the only way to work on discipline is by being disciplined. I think.
Yeah, I think even with what you just said about, like, so obviously I do the coaching thing, and even this made me. I thought about this the other day. Being disciplined, you can't teach it. Like, it's just, for me personally, I think it depends on how bad you want it. How much pain are you in right now? So even like now, for example, I can be your coach. I can't make you want it for yourself. So even like for you, for example, you got your accountability coach. You could, like, essentially, it's going to sound mad, you're paying him for nothing. Because, yes, he's your accountability coach. He can't physically make you do anything that you are doing.
100%.
You're just telling someone what you're doing.
100%.
You're doing it.
100%.
Yes, he can give you all the tools, this, that, the other, to, yeah, okay, you need to do this, you need to do this, time your day like this, time your day. If you don't want it, it's not going to happen. Simple as. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and this is what I'm saying, like, as much as, this is what I said to you man, when I first started coaching you, I was like, and that's why I always say to you, be proud of the progress you've made, because that's from you. That's not from me. I can give you all the tools in the world, but if you don't want to implement them, it doesn't matter what I'm telling you. And that's what I say to people, is that's the hardest thing you can't like train discipline. Like, you just discipline comes from how bad you want something. Like, how much pain are you in? Because if you're in enough pain, you'll do anything to get out of it. Right. And I think pain is what creates discipline. Like, if, let's say, for example, if like here's the thing, if you take the reason why people get in shape, and I said this in my video the other day, people don't get in shape because they want a six-pack. People get in shape because they don't like how fat they are. Do you know what I mean? You're not chasing a six-pack is like, it's not enough for people to be like, it needs to come from a place of like, you're in so much pain with how you are currently. Right. You're not even worried about that. You're just worried about getting out of this position. That's what it is. Yeah. So when it comes to discipline, I really look at it and I'm just like, okay, yes. And I think I've just noticed it, because if, let's say, for example, if we're talking about discipline, and otherwise that would mean like all my clients would all be cold, but the reality is they're not, and that's just because some people want it more than others. Do you know what I mean? Like, I always use you two as examples to all my clients to say, you were in so much pain in where you were that the discipline. I didn't have to tell you to go to the gym yesterday. Right. We didn't plan to bump into each other yesterday.
When I saw you pop up, bro,
Jules was gonna be there, bro.
You didn't tell me in the day to say, you didn't need to message me to be like, Sean, I'm going to go to the gym, like, to, I don't know, even give yourself this feeling of like, achieving something. You were gonna do it anyway. If we didn't if we didn't see each other, you weren't going to tell me. You just would have been like, I'm going to go do this thing. Because you were in so much pain with how you were before, that was a thing in your head to be like, I need to actually go and just get on with this thing. Do you get what I'm saying?
100.
It's the same with you and your accountability coach now. Like, yes, he can implement all these things for you. This is how you need to lay out your day. But unless you choose to implement it, it doesn't mean anything. Like, do you know what I mean?
That's true.
Like, and this is what I'm saying. Sometimes I think people don't give enough like power to themselves and realize to say, none of this would happen without you. Like, all these systems can be in place to, I don't know, like, let's say, for example, you need to work on your systems. You can create every system in the world, Aaron, to be productive and efficient. If you choose to wake up one day and don't implement it, it doesn't matter. It's just it's a system that's there and it's obsolete. Do you know what I mean? Because the power comes from you implementing it and making it work. Do you get what I'm saying?
No,
so
100.
when it comes to discipline, I just think it really comes down to like how bad you want it. If you want it bad enough, you will stay disciplined. You'll eat the right diet. You will stick to your plan in a day. You will tick off all the boxes that you need to tick off. But I can't like, that's something that you can't. It goes back to our episode from before. You can't teach discipline. I can't make you want something unless you want it yourself. If you want it, it's the easiest thing in the world to help you get to that point. But unless you believe it, like, wholeheartedly in your heart to say, I need to do this, doesn't really matter. Like, I think you just can't teach discipline. It comes from you. But that's what I mean. I love like reminding people that to say, like, don't give power too much to the like systems around you to say, I only done this because I had this, or I only done this because this person helped me do this. And I'm like, no, but you did it. Like, no one can make you do anything in this life apart from you. You know what I mean? You actively make the decisions to do the things that get you to the position where you are. So I think that's another thing about gratitude. You need to be great. Like, once you realize that, and you realize that the only enemy in your life is yourself. You can be your biggest supporter, or it's actually mad. You can be your biggest supporter, your worst enemy.
Yeah.
And it all comes down to you. Doesn't matter if the world tells you something. If you don't believe it, it doesn't matter. But the world can be against you. So long as you believe it, it doesn't matter whatever everyone else tells you. You'll get it done. So that's my take. Right. That's my take on the discipline thing. I think it's just how bad you want it. That's why I say it to me from the gym. I'm like, how bad do you want it, fam?
What was your take on the discipline thing?
On how to train it.
Yeah, what's your thought? What your experience?
I think it's exactly what you said. The reason why we're all like this, because I think we've had our fair share of pain. I think pain is the biggest. It's the biggest reason for a lot of it.
I agree. Which is
for a lot
why,
of greatness.
on a weird, I don't forget what you're gonna say. I'm sorry, cutting you.
No, it's all right.
Which is why, on a weird way, obviously you do have to balance with the gratitude thing. But I don't know if it comes out. I don't know if it's negative. But with myself. I'm way more negative in it. Like I'm way more. I remind myself of the pain, bro. Rather than yeah, you panned it.
No, that's good though.
Oh yeah, no, what you're gonna get? No, I'm just like, bro, you need to pan up.
Yeah.
So I talk to myself.
That's so interesting because I saw a Theo Von podcast.
Yeah.
And he gets his callers to come on the podcast and they say a little message. And he was like, one of them said, if I ever spoke the way I spoke to myself to somebody else, I would have no friends.
100%
facts.
But
100%.
I hear what he's saying, but that's what makes me keep going harder and harder every time. Because I still got that self-realization where someone needs to keep it real with me.
No, 100%. And you can't expect anyone else to do that.
Exactly.
Comes from you, fam.
100%. But sorry, you were saying I cut you off there.
No, that was pretty much it. Like, a lot of people try to comfort themselves, saying, "No, I've done all right. At least I've done something."
The most honest person is going to be you. Like you will be the most honest person to yourself.
Exactly.
It's mad. It's actually mad. Like if you spoke to someone else the way you speak to yourself, fam.
Yeah.
I get banged, fam.
100%.
I would get banged.
100%. I was watching one Brandon Clark video and he was saying that if he was to treat his son the way he treats himself, they'd take him away.
Yeah, no, I would.
Because like you have to be. He's like to himself. He's like to everyone else. You're mad calm, mad chill, but to yourself, you have to be extreme. The only thing he basically treats himself like a slave, bro.
No, I hear that.
Just like what needs to get done, do it. You're not patterned.
You don't deserve anything until it's done, bro.
And I think I actually think that's the key, bro.
No.
It's how peak can you be to yourself?
No,
bro?
exactly.
And how much can you remind yourself of the pain and how bad you want it? That's pretty much it.
I think that's good though. What you said about like how you just like you all constantly remind yourself of the pain, because that's when you just don't get comfortable.
Yeah.
You should never be in a state of comfortability where you're like, oh yeah, I've that's it now. Well done. You smashed it. Yeah, word. You smashed it. Nah, it needs to be. What's next, fam? Like calm. You done well, but like you were dead though. Like, like are we going back to that point?
Nah, it's so true.
Like,
it's so true.
It's good. I can't lie. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. It's a balance. Because it's even these times when I'm sure I don't even know. It's actually last question I want to ask you to, because it applies to you two right now. Do you find, let's say that mindset you have now, do you chat about that with your partner? Like, and second question to that, do they try and be like, nah, like, I don't know how to describe it, kind of like get you out of that state of mind? To be like,
100%.
No, you're that's
100%.
yeah.
So
I think that's girls though.
no,
You get what I mean?
100%. And I think it's very interesting. I was chatting about this to some of my colleagues some time ago. We're generalising, but generally speaking, I think boys are way more likely to negatively motivate themselves, or at least try to, than girls. Like they want the positive, they want the motivation of the potential positive outcome, and the gentle nudges towards the positive outcome. We want the pain of you're done out, like you're actually like your thing is dead.
I was literally watching her For You page and my For You page. Mine was David Goggins and them man telling me that I'm a pathetic piece of whatever. Yeah. Hers is, you're amazing.
You are amazing.
You are, what you're doing now is okay.
Yeah.
Don't forget that. When I heard that nonsense, man, I was like, what is this?
And he was about to sleep, fam. And he had one eye open. Like, what the hell are you watching, man?
Brother, honestly, That's why I feel like even with girls, like I think they got that motherly care nature. But
They
like,
do.
No, it's okay.
100%.
It's all right. You don't need to push yourself that hard.
Like, don't do too much.
But-
you've done so. What do you mean, like?
Exactly.
Like, I'll be the type of person, like, bro. Like, even me, I'll because obviously even now, for example, my physique where it is now has changed, innit?
Yeah.
Like, I'll be able to munch and be like rotted, raw. I'm not there, bro.
Yeah,
And these will be like, what do you mean?
What do you
Like,
mean?
how do you-
Like,
like,
you're
like, for
in
me, it's like,
amazing
nah,
shape.
fam.
You're
So,
amazing shape.
I think, to be honest, I'm not even against that because I expect that. Like,
Yeah.
and that's even the reason why I'm even more harder with myself because I know that if I want a bit of slack, I'll chat to this one and she'll tell me that, oh, you've done so well. Like, I'm so proud.
Yeah.
But because of that, I have to be the person that's like, no, you're dead.
Yeah,
You haven't patented it. You actually haven't done anything. You haven't done anything. So,
And they completely mean it in the most innocent,
100%.
lovely way, caring way possible. But-
and they believe it as well because they look at you and they're like, "Bro, that's my man." Like,
Yeah.
they're proud. But I think it's mad because like you said, females tend to have the complete opposite of like gas them up to make them feel good about themselves. This is like the other ways. Guys put themselves down, but I do think you need a balance between the two. That's why like even there's that TikTok page which I showed you where like it's the hi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like that actually like to a female who's probably watching that, it doesn't hit them the way it hit me
100%.
because I don't have that on a day to day, and having that page sometimes it's like in the midst of my constant you need to pan up. You're not, and hearing that is like okay, it's like a little bit of relief. Whereas I think, and this is a generalization, obviously, but I think some females like need that like every now and again in their For You page where it's hi. They need a who's going to carry the boats, fam.
What,
Do you know
they do.
what I mean? They need.
I think that high needs to be the sprinkle on top, bro.
Yeah, there's just the. It's just the.
It's
Yep,
just the
that's it.
it's just a little bit.
Just
it's not something that you listen to all the time. Like it might come up maybe once a month.
Once a month.
Fair
it's
enough.
like
But that's not the meat and potatoes, bro.
no, it's not. It's not the meat.
it's
It
not.
can't be.
Do you know what
It
I'm
can't
saying?
be.
That's not the meat and potatoes.
It
So
can't be. It can't be.
The main thing is just and do you know it's not even negative. It's just the reality. It's just like, bro, you haven't panned yet. We're still living at the yard. We still haven't panned it yet. Do you know what I'm saying?
100.
It's just reality.
And I think it also comes down to like again, this is. I know we're thinking we're in a progressive society, which we are, but there's still guys will always have this thing of like you are the provider. Whether like, do you know what I mean? Like,
100%.
Oh yeah.
like for us, it's not even a case of just the fact of like calm. It's like, oh, I'm just hating on myself. I'm hating on me because I'm thinking I need to provide for you as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and it comes back to the point of like time and how much time I have. And I said like, if you are in like for me now, it's like what I'm trying to pattern is not just for me. So if you're hating on, not even hating, if you're annoyed because I don't have the time for you, it just shows that you're a bit impatient. Because if you actually understood it, you'd understand I'm beating myself to the ground because I'm trying to provide for the person I'm going to be with eventually.
1000%.
Do you get what I'm saying? This isn't just for me because
1000%.
once I have my wife and kids, I have to provide for them as well.
100.
So someone has to be on my case to make sure that I actually pattern that.
100%.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
Because the problem is, like the way this life works, if you're not on your case, nobody's gonna be on your case. Bro.
no one cares.
You will just end up being average, and it will just like there's nothing
NPC, bro.
from the perspective of the world and life. There's nothing wrong with you being average because the average person is average.
Yeah.
Do you get it? So if you don't pattern it and you don't lock in, that's not a problem for the world. Do you know what I'm saying? That's not a problem for the world.
Scary.
You have to be the only person that's like, nah, that can't bang.
That's actually scary, fam.
Nobody, especially if you're a don. I heard this thing said if you're a guy, nobody's coming to save you, bro.
100%, bro.
Nobody's coming. Nobody cares. And nobody's coming to save you, bro. You have to be your own savior, bro.
Nah, it's scary, fam.
It's scary. So that's why they're like, yeah.
These cats don't get it, fam.
And this is also why, to be fair, it's important to have G's that are in the same,
Nah,
on the same
wavelength.
the same
Mindset,
mindset.
yeah.
Because if not, it's even worse. Imagine if your G's aren't on job. Yeah, it's even harder, bro.
100.
It's even harder.
Sometimes these
What
cats.
is that brother that got slapped by Will Smith?
No, Chris Rock slaps. No, Will Smith slapped Chris Rock.
Yeah, Chris Rock.
Yeah, Chris Rock. Yeah. So there was he did this like stand-up thing, and then he got serious a little bit. He said, "Children, girls, and dogs are loved. Our pets are loved unconditionally.
100%.
We are loved on the condition that we provide, protect, and look after our families, bro.
100%.
As men. If you don't have that, the world don't care about you.
It just doesn't.
The world don't care about you.
It just doesn't.
Exactly.
It just doesn't. And even outside of the world caring, I believe at least for the most dons, we're wired internally to know that that's what I need to be patterning.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm not patterning that, I can't, even this happiness thing, like I can't be happy if I'm not patterning that, bro.
Exactly.
Like what am I even doing?
100%, bro.
What am I even doing? So I think, and it all comes down to, again, how you interact with everyone and how you balance the partner thing. Because they've just got a different perspective. And do you know what it is? Yeah, I've come to the realization that you just can't expect them to understand that perspective.
No. Me personally, I've tried a few times, and I understand why she doesn't see it.
It doesn't work, bro. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like, they're just not. It doesn't work, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe then again, actually, for example, you're talking about Jake. His wife gets it, and I guess every now and then you can come across someone that's like, wow, they actually genuinely get it. But I think for the most part, that's a plus. But for the most part, it doesn't. That's not how it's going to be.
Yeah, but even like I think there was even a race where he done, and she said something like, she obviously thinks like he's amazing as he is, and this that,
Right.
but she just accepted that he doesn't.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like I think she feels it's not like she doesn't think he's patterned. She thinks he's. I think she'd be like, you can rest tomorrow, fam. Like relax. But I think she's just accepted that he doesn't, and I'm okay with letting him believe that.
Yeah.
Letting him have that, which is what you need to have. Like, I don't like the thing of someone's like, oh yeah, like, I want them to obviously think I'm patterned, but also just be okay with the fact that like he's not going to stop though, and I'm okay with that. That's
No, 100.
which is what you want.
Nah, that's so true. Yeah.
But yeah, nah. Cold lads. That was a
Smooth.
That was a cold one.
Smooth conversations, bro.
Smooth.
Constructive.